the Nigerian music, dance, crafts, fashion, and businesses. Taking place at the Gillette Square / Voltage Jazz Club, Daston, London. Postcode N168AZ. Date 28 July 2024. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com. Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or call +440745951361 or +442036328755. Come and experience the nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
Hello, good morning to this historic broadcast. It is historic, it is unique. You just had the Nigerian week, and I am here in the presence of greatness. You see, when I call you Alaji, you say Alaji. Alaji is the only one I can call you. In fact, you're more than Alaji. Alaji, welcome to.
Thank you.
Welcome to London. Welcome to Srtv. Welcome to this broadcast.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yes. It's good to have Alaji here. Just do it. Don't rush. You're gonna meet him very soon. Alaji, I don't want to speak for you today. Tell these people who you are, so they know that. And I'm going to tell you more about Alaji, but he's going to tell you a little bit of his background, and I'm going to close it. Alaji.
Well, Daddy, my name is Abdul Karim Muhammad, and I am from Katsina State originally, but I reside in Kano, where I have Moving Image Limited as my company. But before getting to that level in 1991, I was a World Bank specialist, media specialist to a World Bank assisted project. And that is the last public appointment I held. And since I came into the private sector as a content producer, because I traversed the content producing sphere of radio, television, and film.
Wow.
And I have recently, in 2018, ventured into SBCC, that is Social Behavioral Change Communication, and I've been commissioned by the MacArthur Foundation to do an SBCC project for 6 years, which is rounding off in December, and it has to do with intervening on anti-corruption fight in Nigeria.
Listen, I'm not sure because I didn't hear everything, because you need to go through this program again and find out more about Alaji. But let me say this. Because this show is very short, so I'm going to cut crazy. He is one of those that is receiving Lifetime Achievement Award at the Nigerian Week tomorrow. So I'm privileged to have him on set with you. I wish you can ask questions, but unfortunately, there's no chance to do so. So you better listen. And whatever you have to write it down and throw the question to us. Alaji is more than happy to answer your question. Alaji, thank you for all you have done for the Nigerian film industry. In fact, you've done more than enough. That's why in the course of my deliberation with the Nigerian Ministry of Information and Culture, the first name that ring a bell is please talk to Abukari. And then when I even called the Nigerian Film Corporation, talk to Abukari. But first, let's talk about Kanowood. I know there's a lot going on, but tell us about Kanowood, because it's like we don't even know. Many people think Nollywood, but there is Kanowood. Tell us about Kanowood.
Kannywood is an interesting component of Nollywood, but largely ignored by both Nollywood and the government, both at federal and state levels. Why is it critical? It is critical because it produces about 33% of the films that qualified Nigeria to be number 3 film producing nation in the world.
Wait a minute, they produce that quantity on the average? For those of us just listening, how many films do they produce in that industry, in say Kanowood, in a year on the average?
Averagely, we are talking of production of about 300, 400 films.
Wow. Do you get that? Canowood. Now, this is the pioneer. These are the original. These are the creators of Canowood. And that is why this event is unique. Alhaji, like I said, we don't have all time to look into all Alhaji work today because there are plenty, and I'm going to ask him some questions. So I'm going to jump. So, and like you said, it's largely ignored because that is another thing. Maybe you should tell us also about the film festival you've been organizing for years now. But that's something that those of you who make film in your own languages, you understand? This is somebody you should be talking to. Well, for some reason, we were told that our language is not what we should be speaking. Right here now, we should be speaking either Hausa or Swahili or one of our language, but we're speaking English. Can we change that? If we can speak Pidgin English, we cannot do that. But we are forced to speak English. But Alhaji has taken it upon himself to make sure people still communicate in our local languages in a unique way through films. And that is what he does in that film festival. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Kano Indigenous Languages of Africa Film Market and Festival, KILAF.
KILAF.
Yes.
Kano Indigenous
Languages
of
Africa Film Market and Festival.
Good. It's a film market and a film festival. It's indigenous film. It's a Kano. All right. Indigenous. Get that. So KILAF.
All right. Yeah. So KILAF was sort of introduced in 2018 and with the first edition. And the idea of it is, I have seen, take a look at Nollywood films. It's largely produced by Igbos.
Yes.
But their language is largely missing in their content production.
That's true.
And that is what I feel spells doom for Igbo language. Because if they were producing in Igbo language, then they are promoting their language.
Exactly.
But they are promoting
English.
Colonial language.
Exactly. And then,
which is bad.
Do the funniest thing. If you want to make a film in French language today, they easily fund it because they want you to promote their language. English don't need more promotion. They've got the word. You understand? English have got the word. Our own languages is missing. And that's why what you did with Canowood and also now the film festival is unique. Really, Alhaji, like that's why I said, when we meet you, we need to understand what film means. People don't understand. They think film is an avenue to entertain. I'm going to watch a blockbuster movie. Oh, they do well. This one did this. It's deeper than that from what you're doing.
I think what one needs to understand about film is that it is a very insidious medium. It enters, somebody gives the best analogy of what it does.
Okay.
He says, when a doctor performs a surgery on a patient,
yes,
and it goes sour,
yes,
it's only one person that dies in the process.
That's true.
But when a filmmaker makes a film,
yes,
and it goes sour because it has not answered
the question
to the yearnings, aspirations, or representation of his people, it affects an entire nation. So you can see the scale of impact of film in the life of people. And narrative is what forms the content. So if you are not original in your content, how can your originality manifest in the content you are producing? It wouldn't happen. So I'm saying with my festival, let us encourage our youth to make films in their own languages because their originality will be sustained. And also the narratives that they will be selling out will be those that will be representational of us as a
and
people.
it will be very original. Like this is what happened. I remember when we were in school, a lady who was teaching us English language, he said, your problem is we think in our first language and we try to speak English. Because it's natural for me to think in my language. And I'm going to speak. So I'm running between, what I have to do and what I have to say. And our movies are heavy dialogue. I think it's affecting most of our acting as well.
Which is true.
It's going to be difficult.
The basic thing to understand is because it is a medium of entertainment, of glamour, yes, you can glamorize, but it doesn't have to be linguistically driven. It can be driven by action. And that action, like we were earlier discussing, you said even silence is communication.
Of course. It's the biggest communication. Silence is, but sometimes I just say silence. You understand? And everybody's like, what's going on now? Because silence, you don't know what is in his mind.
Yeah.
And audience begin to interpret. We begin to participate. You understand?
And that's what they call Chinese resistance. What is Chinese resistance?
Okay.
You know, they remain silent. So you don't know what is in their inner mind. And that's why the Americans fear them the most.
Of course. Anybody that didn't say anything. You know, I like that I made this short film about a man that got his wife in bed with another man. He didn't say anything. He went to the parlor, was drinking a cup of tea. In fact, the guy that committed the atrocity, he didn't know whether to come out of the room because he's sitting at the parlor. He was confused. The guy was not ready to say anything. He managed to escape, walk out. He didn't say anything. Everybody, we are all confused in the movie. We are still confused even watching him. And then finally we see him in bed looking up. The wife walking. He wasn't ready to talk. The woman didn't know what to do. She committed herself. Because she committed suicide. What is in this man's mind? It's better you just kill me. You know, the man was not ready to talk. And that is the power of silence. You understand? That is the power of silence. All right, wonderful. All right, I like it. I'm going to talk about you a little bit more, but let's sort of, what do you think at this stage in your career that film can do for Nigeria?
Well, I would say that Nigeria needs film more than probably any nation on earth. Why? Right now, the situation in the country is bad. There are agitations, and there is communication gap between those that are ruling the country and those that are being ruled. So you can build bridges using film media. And certainly if it is deployed because it's already on the ground, for heaven's sake, from 2009 to date, Nigeria has never dropped beneath the number 3 most producing film nation on earth. So if you have this competitive, exactly, if you have this competitive advantage at your fingertips, I cannot rationalize how you can ignore such. Especially when you need to sensitize your people, you need to carry them along in what you are doing. You need to pacify them, especially with the volume of things that are being done that are anti-people. So you need the film medium in order to communicate. And the most interesting thing is, it is something that you do in an entertainment form.
So you don't. So it's like in a light way.
Exactly.
You don't need to. But you're passing a very big message.
And the efficiency is there.
Perfect.
This is it.
And so that brings me to the very difficult thing we see ourselves as filmmakers. The film industry has done a lot for Nigeria. Yet it looks as if the government is not even aware of what. Because when you now imagine the number of movie stars, the Nigerian film industry, thanks to you, you all that started this without government funding. People just got up and start telling stories. And I don't understand. In fact, I cannot thank you guys enough. But this is it. Now, why is the government, why do you think the government is really paying deaf ear, knowing that Nollywood is not generating income for the country? They are now creating jobs. In fact, the number of people employed today in Nollywood, I can't count them. If these people were on the street, people will have more kidnappers. You know, because the good thing about this industry is you can train somebody to become a cameraman in 6 months and he gets a job. And he will not be looking for jobs. And yet the government, I'm talking about just using one. If you train people as editors, in a year, it won't take that long. The guy is already engaged and he will be needed in the studio from the day he wants to work. This apprenticeship, which is our culture, this is something that could have worked with the industry. Why is the government ignoring that? Well, I'm talking of making income and creating jobs. I just want to mention 2 first.
In terms of ignoring,
yes.
In fact, there is sheer impunity of those in government against Nollywood. I can tell you this. Why? As far back as 2009, I was serving in Vision 2020.
Okay.
We were envisioning for Nigeria to be on the top 20 list of the world
by 2020.
By 2020. But by 2009, here was this report of 99 countries by a United Nations agency declaring Nollywood as number 3 in the world.
So we didn't wait for 2020.
No,
years
2009.
Before.
And up to now, we have not gone. In fact, currently we are number 2 in the world. But what does that say? The government, with impunity, with ignorance, appointed somebody with PhD in building to head that film corporation.
We won't come into that.
So you can see sheer ignorance or impunity with which Nollywood is treated. If an industry can take you to number 3
in the world,
then you don't see anybody qualified from that sector to head your developmental agency.
Yes.
I think that's dedication. But secondly, the previous MD, medical doctor.
Yes.
Still, no Nollywood person was qualified enough to hold your developmental agency.
Can you imagine?
That's why I'm saying with impunity.
Yes, there seems to be a very big gap between the Nigerian Film Corporation, which is the institution, and the Nollywood industry itself. And do they work together? Is there because there seems to be a gap.
I think Nigerian Film Corporation has been under siege by those that do not share the feelings, the aspirations.
Maybe they don't understand it. How can a medical doctor understand the need of an industry so great? I mean, it should be the question is why we're making that decision the wrong ones always. Why would I put a medical doctor to be in charge of a biggest industry, film, that one movie can change the way we talk? There was a time Nigeria made this film called Blood Money, and they were killing us in Ghana because they said we're going to convert people because we were attacking Nigerians. Yeah. Because that is the power of film. Yeah. People believe everything they see there, and yet it can be used against even the government. Yet they are playing deaf to this. Is it not risky on their part?
It is very risky. In fact, it is something that I will say nobody in his right sense should do what they have done. But it is now history because they appointed somebody.
Yes.
Now that is of the industry. Let's see how.
Yes, that's a very good thing. For the first time, we have the like of Dr. Ali Nuhu, now the MD of the Nigerian Film Corporation. And we cannot actually overemphasize the importance of the Nigerian Film Corporation. For those of you just joining the show, if you don't know Alhaji Abukari, he is the one that made the movie on Usman Dan Fodio. In fact, when I went to the Nigerian ministry and I said, I'm going to show a film in the UK that represents Nigeria, they brought this film made by you, sir.
Shehu Umar was made by Adamu Khalidu, who was the first general manager of Nigerian Film Corporation.
But the story was written by...
But the story was written by him.
Okay.
But Dan Fodio, the reformer of West Africa, is about the person that led the Sokoto Jihad of 1804. That's the documentary film that you were talking about. Yes, that's the one I made.
So, listen. So we're talking of history. For those of you that just to Alhaji, I just really want people to understand the importance of film. The film is not just an avenue for entertainment. It's a way we talk to each other. We correct ills in society. That's why any movie without a moral message is not a movie. That's the essence of art. So Elijah, I want to thank you. And thank you for creating this job, creating everything. But for those of you young people who are here today, you know that the Christians we always want to look a little bit at our political time. You understand? Elijah, we grew up in the time. Then this current president said we should go back to the national anthem, which is something I found very interesting. I don't know about you young guys, but the national anthem I remember was when I was in secondary school. And I wish you young people can see. When I was in secondary school, the guy that taught me, my additional mathematics teacher, was Mr. Chanjahan. He was from India. The guy that taught me chemistry is Joseph John from Pakistan. So I have all these foreign people then teaching in Nigeria, in my village. I like you were talking of my village.
Yeah.
I'm not talking of town. So many Nigerians could attract foreigners as at my time. Look at our schools today. Why is our president not taking us back to this time? I don't know about your experience where you were in school. Why are they not taking us to that time? Why are they taking us to the old national anthem? What is old? What is special in the old national anthem that is not special in what I just said?
It's a laughable issue because if you look at the problems of Nigeria, the list of them is
the national
anthem. So I wouldn't even go that way. But I would like a situation where we can rewind to the point where our educational system was attracting quality teachers from around the world. I went to a school, a public school, that was established in Kano State. It's Kano Educational Development Center. That's the name of the school.
Okay.
And there were 1,000 intakes into that school.
Okay.
In Form 1 in 1970.
1,000.
1,000.
Okay.
The highest,
of course,
enrollment at that time. And do you know that our teaching staff, only 2 were Nigerians? Only 2 were. All the rest were foreigners.
We're talking of secondary school now.
Secondary school.
Okay.
And do you know what the governor then, Audubako of blessed memory, he said he doesn't want any child that was enrolled in that school to leave school because of poverty. And he introduced a salary structure for us. I enjoyed being paid to go to a public school with such quality teachers for free up to the time I finished in 1974. So you can imagine if somebody is rewinding in life, certainly I would want him to rewind back to that.
To that period.
Now, I have 8 children, 4 boys, 4 girls.
Walaji.
Oh,
yeah,
my youngest is now in level 300, and I'm paying their school fees all through their education. But in my time, I was even being paid to go to school. So if anybody is telling me to rewind to that, why wouldn't I want it to rewind?
Exactly. I want to rewind, but not to national anthem. I want to rewind to that time. Young people, you see what you're missing, and I really want them to know what they're missing. It's a very Alhaji. You see, this is a great country. Nigeria is a great nation, no doubt about it. And this is the thing we know about Nigeria. And my own take, Alhaji, on this is, if we could attract foreign talent to Nigeria, meaning they will be training our doctors. We will have trained doctors, well-equipped architects, in fact, lawyers. And when you have that in a nation, that nation is bound to grow.
Of course.
We will be exploding.
Exactly.
But now, even the few ones we have, they are running out of the country. And Tinubu is taking us back. I don't know what is taking us back to where. I don't know, to go and sing the old national anthem, me and Akbabi. And I'm quite confused, sir. And I mean, I really want to say this difficult question. And I know it's a difficult one. I always ask everybody that comes to my show. My question is, are they wicked or they don't know what they're doing?
I will say both. Wickedness in the sense that you have a vice presidential lodge in Abuja where the presidency resides.
Okay.
You have created a student loan system that is going to be funded with 5 billion naira. You are now taking 15-20 billion to build a house in Lagos for a vice president that does not reside there. So that says it all for me.
Exactly.
Because it's sheer madness.
Thank you. The wife of the president used 1.5 billion. I don't know whether that is the correct statistic to renovate her office. And the student loan, the future of the nation, is just 5 billion loan that they're going to give to poor people.
And then here you are, you're distributing palliative or whatever package of 400 million per National Assembly,
exactly,
Senate, and then the House of Representatives getting 200 million. In a country where 200 million will not pay, will pay the salaries of professors in institutions that will now make your institution
stronger.
It doesn't make sense.
No, I heard that. I've heard the governor of Imo State saying that Nigeria could be making money from education, and they think it's a joke. In the United Kingdom, where you are with me, sir, the bulk of the money is coming from education. It's a service-oriented economy. Yeah. So how many in the UK? There is no university in the United Kingdom that doesn't have a branch in Nigeria recruiting students to come here and study. Just in case you guys miss it, they are in India, they are in Pakistan, they are all around the world recruiting students to come and study. The school fees in England is £14,000. So if they pay that to your economy, and they're not coming to learn.
You see, there was a House of Rep member from the Southwest that was trying to introduce a bill to say that whoever is holding government appointment should never be allowed to fund his child abroad. with that bill,
Yes.
I would have thought that there are reasonable people within the National Assembly that could see the sense in what is being done.
They're going to attack
and the same medical bill
Yes.
that could prevent them from going out.
Because
Because these monies that they are transferring to outside, if they deploy it to inside, it is not only them that can benefit, but the generality of the people. So that's why, back to your question,
yes, sir,
of being mean or
wicked.
Yes. I said both. Yes. Because it's sheer wickedness for any leader in Nigeria to be satisfying self-interest rather than public interest.
And
that's our problem.
It's a blind. I came up to talk about individualism, and we are all losing out. Imagine the £14,000 you pay for one child in the United Kingdom. I'm not talking of the transportation to UK. Mm-hmm. As rent in London is minimum a year is £12,000. And as if you do the arithmetic, you spend about £50,000 per child in the United Kingdom. Count how many we have here. £50,000 can change the school in my village.
Of course. In addition to other villages.
Yes.
Not only
so imagine how many children from my village are in abroad. Because the truth is, every leader in Nigeria, the children are abroad.
Let me explain something to you. A friend of mine, says he has noticed that the leadership we tend to produce in the country tends to be suffering from something. I say, what is it? He said, it seems as if every leader that comes into leadership position in Nigeria has his head decapitated, and then they get a donkey's head and put it on him. When he leaves office, they bring back the human head.
No,
that's the only thing that can explain what is happening.
It cannot be clever. In fact, perhaps that is applicable to those who have made it. And the problem is, we don't give back to society. I know this government is doing their own. Now the people don't care anymore. Nobody wants to give back to society. We want to succeed alone. You want to have the best car. And I say to Nigerians, I know you can buy a good car, but can you construct the roads?
No way.
If I have a good car, I need the road to drive.
Yeah.
So without a good road, my car is meaningless. I'm going to fall on a bumpy area. I'm equal to somebody who don't have a good car. So why would I be thinking of myself alone? Let's think about it, Alhaji. People have good houses. They build this massive house. It becomes a prison. Because if you see the Alhaji, thank God we're going to drive now. How many people have that mighty fences you have over there? It's madness. It's madness.
Because what they are doing is they are transferring the cost of insecurity onto themselves unknowingly.
That's it.
You build a high
fence
that you don't need if you had done the right thing.
Thank you.
And you hired guards that
Alhaji, how many of you today watching this show now have generators?
Plenty.
Every home in Nigeria have a generator. Imagine if we use these generators, if we use the money we use to buy generator to invest it on Nigerian electricity.
Nobody would have needed.
In fact, we don't need generator. Who on earth use generator in the 21st century?
Nigeria. Because we are the #1 nation.
I don't know what to do. Alhaji, this is serious. And I always say, it's not about us now. It's about we actually giving back to young people so they know what they are. The essence of this show today, I said, we don't have a lot. There's an event coming up tomorrow. It's a Nigerian Week event. He's here to receive the Lifetime Achievement Award. I dragged him onto the show so that we can have this mind discussion with you guys so that people will know what we went through in our time, and hopefully you will learn from it. And we don't have a lot of time, but I wish we have more time to spend with you guys today. We don't do this kind of church show before, but we really look forward to having Alhaji. I'm going to have one-on-one, but that will be more time with Alhaji today. We're going. The show is tomorrow, so you can imagine we're squeezing this time to be here. The phone call is going to be coming in now. So Alhaji, I'm going to end the show by saying, I know it's a difficult topic. Nobody want to talk about it. I took up this recognition award because I do know that Nigerians have the best of talents. And sometimes we don't recognize them. True. The way Jesus Christ was on earth, he wasn't recognized. Muhammad was there, he wasn't recognized. We wanted to kill them. And I thought that we should be recognizing the best among us. That's what, recognizing the best. Those because people are still doing their best for the country. I really want to recognize them. And that is why I do this. Now, in terms of recognizing Nigerians, let me put it this way. In the country where you have all this beautiful talent, this wonderful talent, why are we not getting them in leadership?
Well, because of corruption. I fight corruption from 2018 to now. So I understand from in-depth research analysis of what corruption is doing to our country. And if we can redress the issue of corruption in Nigeria, it will solve a lot of problems for us. Because everybody is looking at how do I get that window of opportunity to enrich myself at public expense, not minding the consequence. And it is the consequence that we are picking up that is hitting up our policy.
Everybody.
And everybody is
and then we're no more safe, nothing is happening. And Elijah, before we run away, I know because of time, people, I may not have. And yes, Elijah, the young boy said that. Yes, Elijah, people really enjoy the country like us. We are just left with the crumbs and the problems. I agree, so that's the truth in our time. Listen, we had a great school, we had a good time, Elijah, but I really want to bring something to your attention. And I know I will not be doing justice to my man in your state, in Kano State. I'm talking of Sanusi. Sometimes I'm angry. Why is Sanusi even an emir? I want him to be president. What is he doing with the position of an emir in the first place? We need him. You understand? Is he a man that we didn't recognize? Is it true that we didn't? Because this is about recognition. That's why I'm doing this award, sir. Is this somebody like you? We need to identify them and say, please come and serve us. I think the people in Kano should be happy to have him as an emir. Before we want to take him from you guys. And you simply guys don't appreciate what is going on there, sir.
Well, unfortunately, the issue of emirship tussle in Kano State is being politicized. And it is a traditional institution that has outlived so many administrations. But unfortunately, it has been publicized and politicalized. Politics brings divisions, and it is out of divisions that politics thrives. So, unfortunately, the emirship tussle has run into that quagmire. How they get out of it, it depends on how dispassionate they look at the situation to ensure that what they do is in the best interest of the tradition. Because the tradition is bigger and better than the
government. The government. You see, the thing is, and the thing I said to myself is that the emir, the office of the traditional rulers is going to outlive. This governor will come and go.
Of course.
And what you people have in all Nigeria, this was the government we have before this new government.
Daddy, let me share this with you. In my festival, I had about participants from about 26 countries, and one of them was a South African. I arranged for us to visit the emir in his palace.
Okay.
He received us, and the grandeur of how the settings were for her. When I was in South Africa, she insisted I must go to her hometown.
Good.
You know why?
Yes.
For her to introduce me to her mother.
Yes.
Because the mother now said to me, "Oh, you are the Abdul Karim?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am. You transformed the life of my child." Since she came back, she appreciates who she is as a Black person because she never knew that there is an institution that represents Black race with historical things to show
that we were human beings. Elijah, this will be so important. We're going to go on a tour. We need to visit Jamaica. We need to visit Antigua and Barbuda. I was there during the Black History Month, and the only thing they know is by the rivers of Babylon when they were taken as slaves. But it's good to introduce them to this history, that this is who you are as a Black person.
Exactly.
You're not born a slave.
No,
slave was something that happened to us.
Yeah.
We're bigger than that, and we're gonna be bigger, and we can be bigger.
Sure.
All right, I'm confused. We're gonna go. Well, I don't have a lot of time. You guys can understand this, and we're gonna run away. But I'm still gonna put one thing to Elijah before we run away. I always say one, because every aspect of the country is in trouble. But Alhaji, I won't leave here without addressing the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. It's disturbing us. It's destroying us. It's making those of us who want to come home and invest. And Alhaji, there are a lot of black people with money. Nigeria is the biggest black nation on earth. So if it is safe home, we'll all be coming home to Nigeria. It is killing the situation. What is going on? What can be done? Or why do you think this insecurity is even striving? Who is making us insecure? Is it not one among us?
Daddy, you see, I'm the first person that wrote a book on Boko Haram. The Paradox of Boko Haram. That's the title of the book. And
listen, the paradox of Boko Haram. Alhaji, I should be reviewing that.
And that was in 2010. And what I saw of how Boko Haram was glaringly confronting us was to say to the nation, hey,
yes,
hold back. Look beyond what you are hearing about what is causing this thing. Go underneath and
find out.
Really find out what is really wrong. Because without having the root cause of a problem,
yes,
you can never get to solve it.
I know it's easy to call them devil. I always say, why not? They are criminals, they are terrorists, they are this. What are they saying?
But nobody, to my side, listen, nobody, including the Office of the National Security Advisor, that I took the book, and this is a guy that I can, late Andrew Azazi was literally my elder brother, because his younger brother was a very close friend of mine. His mother and my mother were very close friends. I went up to him and said, this is the situation, this is the book. I want you to do something about it. Up to now that I'm talking to you, nobody responded on that issue. So either lethargy, negligence, or exploitation.
Some people must be making money from this.
This is why the exploitation aspect comes in. And that is why I'm telling you, the bane of our problem is corruption. Everybody is looking at an issue from a perspective of how do I use it to enrich myself, never minding the cost to the people or the nation. And I think when we get to resolve ourselves to say, and I'm buttressing this with my own understanding, that Nigeria is the only nation that is a nation without citizens. We don't love our country.
That's true. Patriotism has been driven, it doesn't exist anymore because maybe it is because of the way the country is treating us, or because of the examples we have shown to young people, because these young people are no more patriotic. When Alhaji, growing up in our time, there's reason to be patriotic. You have a system that works, that helps me out. So there's need to but these kids, they've been left on the streets, sir.
True.
They have been left on the street, so they don't understand this Nigeria we're talking about. Imagine you going to school, then getting paid to go to school. You will be happy that the system continues so your children can get paid. That understanding, that lecture can go into your brain. But some of them were born into hardship, hardship is one thing, but born into a harsh society that is biting you 24/7. How can you be patriotic, sir? How can you be patriotic?
Very difficult.
Okay.
Indeed.
You guys said we're not going to look at that book. We cannot have time for that today. So I'm going to do the last one. Which is Alhaji, I'm going to say, if I don't do that, then you guys will be thinking that we don't have a lot, but I really have to go. But Alhaji, listen, this one is important. Nigeria have lots God has deposited in our soil. A lot. We all relying on oil. With all we have, with all God has given to us. President Tinubu came to office, starting from Buhari, Minister of Petroleum. President Tinubu, Minister of Petroleum. Don't they see money from elsewhere? Is it only petroleum? There's a lot more in Nigeria. Even there's a lot on our soil. What is wrong with us? And this is where the problem is, Alhaji. What is going on? How can we address this? Or why do you think it's even happening? Why our president looking only oil?
It's happening because the decapitation of the head applies. Number two, we have been straight-jacketed into a system where nobody in our public sector is thinking outside the box. They are always within that box of what do I gain out of public system to maximize the benefit onto me, period. Unless and until they start thinking beyond that box, all the resources you are thinking of or you are seeing from outside
Yes.
their own box, they will not say it because they are not meant to. Period.
Well, guys, it's now exactly 40 minutes. We cannot do more than that this morning because we have a lot to do. Alhaji, it's wonderful to have you. I'm going to have you again. Guys, don't go away. Fully tomorrow is our event day. Nobody have time for this. But after the event, we'll be here again. Alhaji will be carrying his plaque. He's going to share with you. And we're going to talk to him about his career as a filmmaker. And these are the, what I call them. We use this role model to encourage you that you can be great. And greatness is not cash alone.
No.
You see, it will come. The wisdom of Solomon. First, he seek wisdom, and wealth was added onto it. You understand? First, seek the talent, seek the career, seek the opportunity, and the money will come. It's difficult for me to say that message to you guys now because you guys, like this young man really said, it's a serious hardship and it seems no way out. You understand? So we're scared. We're scared.
No,
and they kept adding to it.
Hope remains the greatest asset of mankind. So we should never lose hope.
Everything, please listen to Alhaji. There's need to not to lose hope. There's a future in us. But let me tell you something about us Nigerians. We are the largest black nation on earth.
True.
Whatever happened in Nigeria affect the black race anywhere. If a black man have a place in this world, Nigeria needs to wake up.
True.
So those people at the National House of Assemblies, the presidencies, even at the state level, local government level, even we at home, know that your brothers are out there relying on you. You cannot afford to fail. And if we can understand that and ask ourselves, why are we failing? Because Alhaji, a country, like I always say to people, we have it all. They say we have the best of talent. Nigeria is not, there's no shortage of talent. That's why they are coming out now. In fact, the UK government is really dealing with us. No, they do. If you have a master's degree and you have worked to some level, Alhaji, they will just beg you. They give you highly skilled migrant visa to relocate, not to give you honorary visa, to come and live in England. They know one thing, that when you come, you're going to contribute to society.
Sure.
With your level of education, they know you will contribute to society. Nigerians, we are getting rid of these people. And that is one of the biggest, people may not understand the impact of this brain drain that is going to happen to us.
They don't even know that the greatest resource a nation can have is human. Human capital is the greatest.
It's the greatest.
And then you are allowing your own best brains to live offshore. And then you are jokers handling your
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense.
It's reference are now running our affairs. And the funny thing, Alhaji, another great strength we have in the UK, we have old people. The population is pretty old age.
Yeah.
That's why they look for carers and all that. But Nigerians, we don't live long. So the bulk of the population are actually young people. Yeah. People who are ready to work.
In fact,
who have the energy to work.
We have a youth bulge.
Abi?
Yeah.
And yeah, we're not doing anything about it. And say, Alhaji can't go. Why so early now? They don't want to deliver us, Alhaji. I understand that, cool boy. We just have an event tomorrow, and I don't know what to do. I know if I don't bring Alhaji, I'll be doing you guys injustice. Hey, we have more coming. We're going to have a roundtable discussion with Alhaji and a couple of other people. Hopefully, we'll be here again soon. But guys, he's in England for something. We need to honor him. And I'm doing this event on the streets, Alhaji. People will be surprised. Why? I don't want to hide it. The celebration of Nigeria cannot be hidden in a hole.
True.
It's not in the hall. Let the world come and see. If you're passing what is happening, they are celebrating Nigeria there. Hear it. And that's what they're going to do with us tomorrow. Alhaji, thank you so much for coming.
And Nigeria deserves to be celebrated.
Thank you, sir.
We thank you so much because this is a platform that I tell you that I go out of my way to support because I believe in it.
I trust you. Yeah. If you have someone like Alhaji, you will never get it wrong. And Alhaji, from the time I set we didn't meet. With the time I talk to you, I know I am with somebody that is sincere, that means well, and I've not been opportune. But Alhaji, today, I will be so proud. I will beg them if they will let me be the one to give you to hand it over. It's the only them that can do that. I will beg them if they will let me hand over it to him, because my people, we don't do award for fun. Award is not a fun thing. Celebrating Nigeria today is not a joke. It's a thing we want to do to create that hope. That thing we lost, it can come back. And with you, Alhaji, we're going to get it done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, guys, that's where we're going to end the show today. Like we said, we're on the run. We're running now. And the people are waiting. Alhaji, all of you help me thank Alhaji for wasting time. In fact, let me tell you, I didn't buy his ticket. I didn't do anything. He got his visa. He paid how much? Express. And make sure he attends this event. Again, that is a service to the nation. If they leave everything with me, it won't be happening. So I want to really thank you again, Alhaji, for your time, for your money, for everything. And you don't know him. I will say more. Do I have the chance? Alhaji carries everything with me. We went to carry this yesterday like a boy. Alhaji, your humility is, I cannot describe it. Guy, you need to meet him. I know none of you will have the chance. So you're gonna pray.
No, when they come tomorrow, they will get the chance.
But if you are in England, you have a handshake with him. I will not be giving him the award. I'll be doing that. But you have a handshake and take a picture. Alhaji, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Okay, all right. Stay out of trouble. It's Nigeria week tomorrow. Everywhere is bubbling. Let us run now. I'll see you guys there tomorrow. And for those of you who cannot join us, you can watch the show live on Srtv. So it's going to be live stream on Srtv. It may not be that because we're not going to be that close because we're interested in the event, not the publicity. But at least we will share some with you through the live streaming. So join us tomorrow, right here on Srtv. Until then, I say goodbye. Thank you, Alhaji, for joining.
Thank you.
Hooray! All is set for the second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024. Another blend of art and culture, entertainment, business and networking activities, showcasing the best of the Nigerian music, dance, crafts, fashion and businesses. Taking place at the Gilles Square / Voltage Jazz Club, Daston, London. Postcode N168AZ. Date 28 July 2024. Tickets are available on eventbrite.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com. Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or call +4407459513619 or +4420363287555. Come and experience the nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people. Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than Srtv Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. Srtv goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace.
Srtv.